Has anyone ever wondered why Power Girl is more physically developed than her counterpart Supergirl? Well, the story goes that Power Girl's co-creator Wally Wood's artwork from 1976 showed her as a relatively busty, but otherwise her figure and build conformed in appearance to other attractive comic book women at the time. The original rumor to Power Girl's massive fun bags comes from the writer Jimmy Palmiotti. He said, okay, when the character was created, Wally Wood was the artist that drew Power Girl, and he was convinced that the editors were not paying attention to anything he did on All-Star Comic. So he said, every issue I'm going to draw the tits bigger until they notice it. It took about 7 to 8 issues before anyone was like, hey, what's with the tits? And that's where they stopped. True story. Unfortunately, this is just to take credit for someone else's doing. Don't get me wrong, when she appeared in All-Star Comics issue 58, she did have a bigger than average bust at the time, but it isn't the size we know today. If you want to see how the rumor is false, you can read Wood's 8-issue run on All-Star Comics issue 58, her first appearance, to issue 65. They are all basically as big as how Wood would draw all his women. A little busty, but not torpedo-sized headlights. I think the reason why the rumor is accepted today, as Wood was known to draw softcore or adult comic books in the prime of his career, but he isn't the one people should thank for Power Girl's rack. That Medal of Honor for making Power Girl a 34G, and yes, people actually used math to figure out how big her titties are, which fluctuate from artist to artist but are around a G in bra size. Alright, back to the main culprit, is artist Bart Sears. When Power Girl was a part of Justice League Europe, for some reason he wanted her defining feature compared to other women was her new superpower, big ass titties. Even when he changed her suit to a skin-tight onesie, that Power Girl had the biggest breasts in the league. After Bart, it was kinda like a contest to see who could make her chest the biggest and get away with it. From Adam Hughes' iconic variant, of which I have a CGC copy of, to Michael Turner's cover on the Justice League of America issue 10, where her chest size was reduced from the original version that Turner wanted because DC said no. So, what have we learned today? That Power Girl's co-creator, Wally Wood, did make her a little busty for the time, although he did not increase her bust size each issue because the editors were not checking his work. Power Girl's chest started to balloon in 1989 with Justice League Europe under Bart Sears. Then it became an arms race to see who could get away with making them bigger since then. I'll leave it off with a poem written by writer Gail Simone on the issue. Motorboat, motorboat, if it sinks, she'll stay afloat. Fun to watch, nice to squeeze, Karen Starr has double D's. Look out, here comes the motorboat. Gail Simone. That should do it for this video, but man, trying to look up information on this topic was hard with Rule 34 being a thing. I didn't want to be bombarded with Karen titties everywhere in my search bar. That should do it for this video. In the comments below, suggest what I should look into next. Until then, I'll see you next video.